Congratulations to the GOP and Kevin McCarthy for reaching a debt limit ceiling with Dementia Joe. Only $4 trillion. Wow. What the fuck? I say that's a bargain.
It's a no for me, dog.
Good thing McCarthy had those coupons.
What, are you retarded?
I'm Josh Berganzo, and this.
So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
You're a fucking idiot.
Is what's next. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Josh Berganzo. What's next? Daily Dose. If you guys are doing well today, of course, as always, common sense, facts, and salt. Wow. Clap your hands. Standing ovation. Give it to them. Give it to them. The GOP, Kevin McCarthy, they've reached a settlement. They reached a concession with Joe Dementia regarding the debt limit, debt ceiling, if you will. $4 trillion. Wow. That is a hell of a discount. Wow. Like I said in the promo, I'm glad Kevin McCarthy had his coupons. But there are some who have a little disagreement. Gee, I wonder why. This comes out of Breitbart. House Republicans give McCarthy a standing ovation in debt limit meeting. Speaker Kevin McCarthy received a standing ovation during a House Republican conference meeting on the debt ceiling Tuesday. House Republicans gathered in the Capitol building to discuss the debt ceiling and gave McCarthy a round of applause. The California Republican said he would give Republicans time to talk about the debt limit deal, otherwise known as Fiscal Responsibility Act. Fiscal responsibility. Wow. Wow, that's ballsy. The House will tentatively vote on the legislative today. The California Republican emphasized the debt deal would allow Republicans to have more leverage during the fall spending bill fight, something that conservatives such as Representative Thomas Massie have noted. Representative Gavin Graves said the IRS will not hire any agents as a result of Fiscal Responsibility Act, the FRA. The debt limit legislation reduces IRS budget by $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion. And compromise struck between McCarthy and President Joe Dementia for future appropriations bill will also reduce IRS funding in fiscal year in 2024 by $10 billion and $10 billion in 2025. Wow. And what about those 87,000 IRS agents? Oh, I heard it was reduced to a whopping 85,000. Wow. We go from that to this. Out of the Washington Examiner. Debt limit. Some House Republicans pledged to vote against the Dementia-McCarthy deal. Gee, and again, I wonder why. Some conservatives in the House pledged to oppose the debt ceiling deal struck by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Joe Dementia within hours of release of the final draft. Biden and McCarthy reached an agreement over the weekend to raise the debt ceiling and cut spending after weeks of negotiation of what Republicans wanted in exchange for a debt limit hike. But some House Republicans expressed outrage after seeing the outlines of the deal that fell far short of the cuts and reforms they actually wanted. Our base didn't volunteer, door knock, and fight so hard to get the majority for this kind of compromise deal with Joe Dementia. Our voters deserve better than this. We will work for them. You can count me as a no on this deal. We can do better. Representative Ralph Norman. This deal is insanity. $4 trillion debt increase with virtually no cuts and not what we agreed to. Not go to vote to bankrupt our country. The American people deserve better. Conservatives, such as Chip Roy out of Texas, had pushed for spending level cuts next year to revert to fiscal 22 levels and lay out a deficit reduction plan that brought the deficit down to more than $4.8 trillion over the next decade. Chip Roy. I think there were even some worse components, but waiting on text, it's worse than I thought every minute that goes by. Chip Roy, I wish that were true. $4 trillion in keeping effectively bloated 23 spending levels and maintenance of the Democratic wish list. Crony IRA unreliable energy subsidies stay. IRS expansion 98% stays. Work requirements weak, don't apply to Medicaid. Roy also criticized the green energy subsidies, which Democrats passed in the Inflation Reduction Act that McCarthy failed to rescind in the deal. My thoughts, excuse me. There's a lot more, but pretty much you got the gist. $4 trillion deal. It's not a deal. It's basically you did nothing. While you had those like Boebert and Chip Roy, who are basically saying, yeah, that's a no from me, dog. How's that benefit anybody? But as we've seen over the last, say, give or take 30 years, when it comes to debt ceilings and budget balances and what have you, they both play on the same team, the Uniparty. Yeah, one time you had Newt Gingrich in the 94 Republicans who dragged Clinton screaming and kicking across the finish line in regards to the first balanced budget deal that had been done probably since FDR. Never been done before. They praised. Everybody was clapping hands, patting on shoulders. That was all great. But now, 30 years later, 35 years later, $31 trillion in debt. Well, we need to raise this. It's not really a ceiling. It's not raising a ceiling. You're constantly moving the goalposts. The wind is always constantly changing. Nothing stays the same. So when you have McCarthy jumping up and down like he hit the lottery, no, dude, you didn't. You gave in. Instead of holding fast and saying, no, we're going to cut A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you basically said, well, we're going to touch a little A, touch a little B, C, D, E, F, G. We're just going to take a little bit off the top, to get that $4 trillion magic number. We're just going to do all this, But the Green Deal, which was never mentioned during negotiations. How do you not mention that? To basically tell dementia, yeah, your Green Deal, yeah, that shit's getting blown the fuck up. We're going to blow that up. You want this deal? This is going to have to happen. You need to get rid of the Green Deal. You need to basically roll back that Green Deal and basically tell everybody, you tell your Democrat cronies, yeah, it's not going to happen. Because I need to get to here, and they won't give it to me unless this gets cut off. But no, you let that go. Because you think that we, dummies, are basically saying, well, that's a hell of a deal, Kevin. Hell of a deal. It's not really a deal at all. It's not really a compromise. It's a sellout. And once again, the GOP shows who they are. And again, I'm not fucking surprised. The American people got fucked over again, as we always do, because it's just the way the world works. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.